Hey, it's me, Roger Aladdin Daltrey, and I'm giving you another video today. So today I am doing the second of the 6th year classes. But before I get into that, there's something I forgot to mention in the Original class. I forgot to mention one of the students, which was Danielle Hand. She was voiced by Christine McVie of Fleetwood Mac, and she was another person that went straight to 5th year as well. And she was and along with Dave McMenemy, she was the only person to see me live during the 68 to 76 years of the rest of my primary education in the first 3 years of secondary school. But then she didn't see the 5th and 6th year tours. But anyways, so I got that out of the way, and now we're going to be doing the second class today. Which one is it? Well, I'm going to upload it for you, and today we are doing Ní Dhomhnaill. So, at the Ní Dhomhnaill class, it was named after Nuala Ní Dhomhnaill, another very famous Irish poet. And this has some good people in here as well. So, are you ready? Let's get started. So, the first student in Ní Dhomhnaill was Scott Brooks. And he was a bit of a... Now for him, it was kind of split, because in the 5th year, he was voiced by... I think he was voiced by one of the Arctic Monkeys members. But then, for 6th year, he was voiced by Ozzy Osbourne, since he gave me a huge amount of slack during the 6th year. That's why I turned against him, and I'm still against him these days. But anyways, next up is, then we have Lauren Byrne, who was voiced by Mariah Carey. Then we have Andrew Colgan, who was voiced by Craig Jones of Slipknot. Then we have Evan Connolly, who was voiced by Jamie Cook from the Arctic Monkeys. Then we have Emily Corcoran, who was voiced by Sinead O'Connor. But of course, just when, and when I did the pictures of all those people, I got a picture of Sinead when she was younger, when she had hair as well. And to be honest with you, I do like her song, her cover of the Prince song, Nothing Compares to You. And I have to admit, she actually sings it lovely as well. And I think she has a glorious voice when she sings it. And she was supposed to perform I Believe in You by Bob Dylan at the Bob Dylan 3rd anniversary concert. And I Believe in You comes off the album Slow Train Coming. And I just think I Believe in You is a glorious, magnificent Bob Dylan song, and one of the best tracks on Slow Train Coming by far. Anyways, then we have... But instead, Sinead O'Connor did War, which incidentally was a Bob Marley song, and War is also a album title by U2, which to me is probably the first definitive U2 album. And then there was also, and then of course there's War, What Is It Good For? Absolutely Nothing, which Bruce Springsteen covered live, and it's more famously found on the 1975-1985 live album. Anyways, up next is Matt Madady, but we all just nicknamed him D-Day. And I'm telling you, he was a really funny guy. He was voiced by Geezer Butler of Black Sabbath. And then, the funny story was, I remember in Irish class he was on his phone and the teacher said to him, "Mattman, will you put the phone away?" Yeah, I'm telling you, Mattman was so funny. He made me laugh. Then we've got Cian Donlan, who is voiced by Jim Root of Slipknot. You know, Cian Donlan was a very amazing guy to me. He was really funny as well. And he was one of my bestest friends. Then we have Kiva Doran, who was voiced by Nicole Scherzinger from the Pussycat Dolls, and then of course Rapunzel of Tangled. Then we have Alexandru Friends, who was voiced by Zach Starkey, who is best known as the son of Ringo from the Beatles. And he would also become the 3rd drummer for Oasis, succeeding Alan White in 2004. Not to be confused with Alan White from Yes. Because, for example, think of Mick Jones from Foreigner, Mick Jones from The Clash. And there's also Roger Taylor as well. Like, there's Roger Taylor from Queen. And then there's Roger Taylor from Duran Duran. Anyways, then next up we have Conor Grant, who was voiced by Phil Lynott of Tin Lizzy, even though I've stated before that I had given up on Tin Lizzy due to a guy named Finn McDonald trying to replace my musician name to have it as his one. But that was the biggest reason why I gave up on Thin Lizzy. But even though if I've given up on Thin Lizzy, it doesn't mean I don't love some of their music. As I said before, I love Emeralds because at least Ace Frehley of Kiss covered it for his Origins Volume 1 album. And I think soon he's going to... I think Ace Frehley soon will do Origins Volume 2. And to be honest with you, I do have Ace Frehley's 1978 solo record in my album collection. I don't have any of his other solo albums. I'm going to get them soon. Same for Peter Criss. And then the other Paul Stanley record and the other Gene Simmons record. Anyways. Then next up we have Bernard Hollins, who was voiced by Levon Helm from the band. And he was another amazing guy, and he was a true supporter to me as well. Then we have another really close friend of mine, Conor McNally, who was voiced by Steve Howe from Yes. And in sixth year, we always sat beside each other in geography class. I often refer to the two of us as geography buddies. Anyways, then we have Matthew Mulcahy, who was voiced by Scott Gorham from Thin Lizzy. As I said before, I'd given up on Thin Lizzy due to what happened with someone trying to take my musician name to have it as his one, to have it as Finn McDonald's name. But it doesn't mean, as I said, it doesn't mean I don't love some of their music. And I know it was quite sad when Phil Lynott died, but the good thing was I was just glad there was no more music from Thin Lizzy. Anyway, then we have Sophie Mulligan, who was voiced by Stevie Nicks of Fleetwood Mac. Then we have David O'Donoghue, who was voiced by Dusty Hill from ZZ Top. And as I said yesterday, and as I said in the written class, the ZZ Top videos were dedicated to him since he was part of ZZ Top band with Adam Hempton and Chris Gonzalez. Then we have Faridat Okunlawan, who was voiced by Florence Ballard from The Supremes. Then we have Nicole Shanahan, who was voiced by Melody Horton from Pussycat Dolls. And then, of course, Merida from Brave. Then we have Dominic Sizemoniak, who was voiced by Frank Zappa. And then we have Leo Walsh, who was voiced by Eric Carr from Kiss. And to be honest with you, Eric Carr was an amazing drummer and probably the best drummer in Kiss besides Peter Criss. Because, as I said before, I only liked the early Eric Singer years when he didn't have his makeup on. Because then, when he started to wear Peter Criss's makeup on the Japanese part of the Kiss farewell tour, I really got sick and fed up of Eric Singer. And I'm totally sick of Tommy Thayer as well. But I like him as a musician, but wearing somebody else's makeup, that is totally against the rules. Wearing someone else's makeup. Anyway, then we have Jennifer Wilde, who was voiced by Britney Spears. Then we've got Kieran Willett, who is voiced by Sean Crahan from Slipknot. And then the last student in the Dhomhnaill is Katie Williams, who was voiced by Selena Gomez. And then, when I said before about my two favourite princesses, Jasmine and Ariel, she actually is Ariel from The Little Mermaid. And in case you're wondering, if I was to say my second favourite Disney movie just after Aladdin, because again, Aladdin is the man, it would actually be The Little Mermaid. So to me, Prince Eric is kind of the secondary man. So that's that. So anyway, that's the end of the Dhomhnaill class, and then there were a few other people that were there for 5th year as well, but didn't come back for 6th year, and those were Jack Bass, who was voiced by Alex Lifeson from Rush, and then there was Phelan McCartan, who was voiced by Rick Ocasek from The Cars. So anyway, that's the end of that, and then we have finished that, and then as I said before, I had the photos there of the people trying, including the girl group, who were nicknamed as the Princesses. So anyways, that is that. So my next question for you guys is, what's the next class I'm going to do? Is it Kavanagh, Heaney, Behan, or Boland? You're going to have to find out tomorrow, hopefully. And thank you very much for watching this video, and I'd like to just give my quick message to those people I've mentioned today. For those of you who are watching this, I can also tell you, you've all been great crack in 6th year, except for Scott Brooks, but I have to say that you guys have all been, but for the rest of you, you had all made some really funny moments with me, and I'll never forget those times. And to me, it's just crazy to believe that it's been a year now since I last saw yous. Well, in terms of education years, but at least I saw most of you at the Debs, which was the important thing, and the Debs were very fun as well. So anyway, thank you very much, guys. I'll see you next time. Take care, and bye-bye.